Hey y'all, it's Zuri the Dreamer, and I am trying a new exploration with you guys. I just bought my first tarot deck, and as a natural intuitive, I am learning tarot from, this side of things. I'm an avid watcher. I probably follow way too many tarot readers on YouTube, so this is my first time taking a stab at reading them myself. So what I'm doing is I am taking a card a night, and at the recommendation of the woman who sold it to me, I am sleeping on one card under my pillow and then writing down the dreams that come to me, as well as other insights that I get about the card throughout the night. And then in that way, my relationship with the cards will become more intimate, and it's actually become really cool. I just woke up really excited because I was like, oh my gosh, the cards are actually talking to me. It's one thing to watch someone else have an intuitive flow, and it's another to experience it yourself. So just want you guys to learn with me. I'm gonna create quite a I guess database, that's the wrong word, directory, a queue, a reference of cards over time that just have my personal insights. And I hope that you enjoy this. Maybe you'll find it useful in your own learning of the cards, or insights into readings that you receive. So I wanted to clear the space with sage first. First card, first time. Pretty excited. Okay, so gonna light some sage, call in some of my intuition, send some healing you guys' way, some love, light, cleanse my throat chakra, crown chakra. The card that we're talking about, and the whole table. I send you good energy, and I welcome your good energy. Any denser energies that you send my way, I respectfully send back. I want to state that the purpose of this is for light and love, peace, joy, elevation, and I channel all positive dialogue with the universe, with ancestors, ancient wisdoms. That's nice. All right, so I'm still figuring out the setup, so bear with me. This is the overall table, what it looks like. We've got the card that I slept on, my dream insights, overall energy of the card, the feminine energies that presented in the dream, and the masculine energies that presented in the dream, both shadow and light. I hope this works for now. We'll see how this setup changes over time. But it's Page of Swords, gorgeous card. The book comes with a definition, so let's read what the book says, and then we'll talk about what I got about the card through my dreams and midnight realizations. Keywords upright: curiosity, bravery, ideas. Keywords reversed: defensiveness, impulsiveness, not thinking clearly. Upright meaning: upright, this card indicates someone approaching life with a curious mind and optimistic attitude, full of enthusiasm. The page is ready to take on life, regardless of where exactly the road may lead. You may also need to go out into the world with an open mind, willing to accept the different views of others, while also communicating your own beliefs. Reversed meaning: reversed, this card shows someone eager to take action, but whose impulsive attitude means that they may not be thinking clearly enough to plan ahead. Take your time, as it isn't in your best interest to do too many things at once. My overall impression of the Page of Swords was, I kept getting dreams about group dynamics, mastering group dynamics, owning your own power, learning self-trust and learning your authority, trusting yourself, recognizing deception, and then coming to terms with your own moral compass. Both dreams, I actually got like a 2-for-1 dream situation where I dozed off, kind of forgot the first dream, and then the second dream reinforced the feeling of the first one. Having mastered the minor arcana, the dynamics of the mind and emotions, this is sort of like, it felt like a first foray among peers of understanding self-mastery of the mind, of the emotions, and finding truth within yourself and without. So basically it was a group of creatives. I'm an artist, I paint. And it was like a photographer who was, excuse my messy handwriting too. But yeah, it was a photographer, and he was like, commanding a group, not commanding, but leading a group of creatives to get his vision off the ground. And there was just a lot of duplicity. People were sort of side-eyeing each other, and I don't know if they wanted like the main spot in the photo shoot or whatever, but I just had like an uneasy feeling of having to watch my back and just be hyper aware of my own center in the dream, so that I didn't get sort of swept up in other people's plans, other people's agendas. And it was, there was like a sense of peer dynamics. There was no clear authority. I mean, the photographer was the one who was directing us, but we were all clearly peers. And so it was about holding my own amongst peers. The masculine was a very clear center of creativity in the dream. He was the one with the goal. He was the one who was, really keeping the dynamics focused on achieving the agenda that he had in mind. And everybody sort of had a mutual respect for the clarity of vision, because it was just a big group we felt like sort of teenagers, but he was able to keep us focused on the goal. But what I did remember, this was a shadow aspect of the masculine energy in the dream, was that he was whenever he did get distracted from the photo shoot and sort of getting swept up in other people's agendas, I think it was women actually, they were able to manipulate their spot in the group dynamic using sexual energy. It was like he was handing over his focus to a hot woman. And then like some naivety, just the definition of naivety is a lack of experience, wisdom, or judgment. And it was just definitely handing over power to the will of others to maintain the status quo or perceived productivity. It was like just really conforming to the negative agendas. He was just really handing over some of his wisdom and gravitas to stay cool in the group in order for us to achieve the end goal, as opposed to having like a moral compass that was able to squash people's conniving ways. Like the feminine aspect in the first dream was very much about reclaiming authority. It felt like the beginning part of trust in oneself. It was definitely not queen energy or king energy, or even I think there's another one above the page, the knight, right? Yeah, it wasn't. It was sort of just dipping your toe in the feeling of authority or self-trust in power, still feeling sort of nervous about it. I think I would call that sort of a shadow aspect of the dream. But yeah, the feminine energy in the dream was just very aware of her power, but still not comfortable in it. The page of sword, feminine energy in the dream was a cleverness. She was aware of the duplicity around her and was able to maintain focus on her own center while trying to figure out what was going on. Cleverness, overcoming obstacles and danger, using intuition and keen observation, kept private. So yeah, that was the first dream. The second dream was very, very similar. I was in like an office setting, and the boss really liked me. I was getting along, doing my work well. And there was another highly ambitious woman there. And she somehow found out that, you know, one of the placements on my resume was not real. I had like written one false position on my resume. They got me the position that I guess she wanted. And she was like, you need to admit this, you know, I'm going to record this conversation and show it to the boss. And I was like, man, I'm not talking about anything. I'm not admitting to nothing. And so she went and posted, like, there were so many flyers. She made like a flyer that had my picture on it, like a wanted poster, that said that, you know, I had falsified a position. I think it was like at Motorola or something. And she was going to show it to the boss. And so instead of letting her have power over me, I grabbed the paper, took it to the boss myself. And I was like, you know what? You got me. I never worked at this place. And I must have been hired without references, because the boss was just like, he laughed it off and was like, you know what? Yeah, we are going to need your real credentials at some point. And he made light of it. You know, it was just a whole understanding that I was still valuable to the company that I worked at, and my skills were beyond my credentials. Just sort of became a lighthearted moment. And I was like, you know, what are we going to do with all this wasted paper that this woman had made? There were so many one-sided color copies of this flyer that was supposed to expose me. And so I started making paper airplanes for everyone. And it was interesting, like my hat had fallen off of my head, and my breasts were exposed, my blouse had come open, and it was like I was fully exposed but fully confident in the truth of my being, and everybody accepted that and just still found me valuable. And so this woman's scheme just didn't matter. And then she kind of awkwardly tried to get back in the conversation. So that was an interesting dream. And what I got from it on the feminine end was full frontal, you know, grace under pressure while climbing the ranks. So still not, you know, at the top by any means, but just walking fully as I, you know, grew in my own power, in my own truth, fully exposed in the integrity of myself. And then the masculine energy of that dream was a relaxed assurance. The boss was just so kind and just sure that I was a good investment no matter what, you know, little tricky parts of my being there were going on. And it was just really a powerful feeling. We were still kind of peers. I wouldn't say that he was like the CEO. He was just over the group of the office. We were slightly his subordinate, and it was like, see, I wrote, feeling secure in one's intuition and ability to trust decisions made, especially in a group setting among peers, slight subordinates, keeping everyone beneath you at ease and assured as well. So it's just a really calm, kind, no drama, masculine energy in that dream. It was very beautiful. So yeah, that was my overall impression of the Page of Swords. The colors that came to me during the dream overall impressions were yellow and mauve, and the overall feeling was warm, timid clarity. So yeah, again, not yet a queen, not yet a king, not yet even a knight, but still past all of the earlier swords energies, you know, becoming one's own master. Hope you guys like this. In the future, it'll be smoother. But yeah, mad love to y'all. Peace.